Hello, this is Mike Hogue, and this is a quick reel of some of my recent shots just over the last couple of weeks here in our gardens at Lillie House, which you see right here. And I was going through some of our shots and picking things out, and I found it relaxing and interesting to see, so I thought I'd put this together. This is a hummingbird moth right here, drinking from Monarda, so that we could relax together and chat a little bit about what a permaculture garden is. And this is a really good example that if you take a wildlife garden and a flower garden and an ornamental garden and look at that guy go, and an herb garden and a food garden and an orchard and a big rain garden and a medicinal garden, and you combine them all together, you get a permaculture garden. And the concept as described by Toby Hemenway. And here we have a little bit where I walk into our backyard garden, where you'll see that same integration of our nursery and food plants and one of our main outdoor living areas. And it's really that integration that makes our garden so useful for us, but also makes our garden useful for wildlife. Because by integrating like this, we are taking advantage of the diversity resiliency principle, the idea that the greater number of species in an ecosystem, the greater resistance to disease and pests it gives to the individuals in the system. So the wildlife help protect and pollinate and nurture all of our fruits and vegetables and medicinals. And at the same time, having those in the garden provides a greater diversity to the insect and wildlife too. For example, because our garden doesn't just only have native plants, it has things like dandelions and some other plants that actually flower earlier than any of our native plants, or even flower over winter. And all of those plants provide needed food for pollinators, especially in a situation of climate change. We also coexist in our garden with wildlife like rabbits and groundhogs and deer and moles and voles, a variety of birds, and we use design to solve the problem of how to live with them instead of being at war with them. In a way, if you get that right, they can actually improve the function of the food garden as well. But it's really a whole different holistic approach to building a healthy, diverse wildlife garden, starting at the base trophic layers of the soil ecology by investing in the soil with deep mulches and polyculture and diversity, and also continuously harvesting rainwater and making sure that we're making the use of all of the resources that we can and putting them to use to regenerate our ecosystem. Because when we spend our time and our energy investing in the richness of our ecosystem, we're investing in ourselves. And the ecosystem can give back so much more than we ever put into it, in so many ways. And that has made our lives much richer.